All right. So I am going to, Professor Liu is going to explain some concept for chapter 3. For chapter 3, number 1, we have to understand the difference between a variable, name constant, and literal constant. And we also need to understand how data is stored in memory. Also, we want to select appropriate name, data type, initial value for memory location, and also declare a memory location in C++. So that's started right now. Okay. So let me start it. Okay. So when we did the IPO chart on chapter 2 already, now we're going to take a look what is internal memory. Okay. So what happened is your C++ using internal memory to save your value of your variables. It is like similar to a collection of storage bin. Okay. By the way, internal memory right now we are talking about temporary. The internal memory we talk about is RAM. Okay. Each address store one item at a time. So otherwise, when you run this program, where do you think those variables save? Save in internal memory. Content number, text, and program instruction. All right. So what happened is this right now. You need to clean an internal memory. Do you understand? So when you write a program, it's sort of like when you run a business. Okay, when you run a business and import, export, whatever business you want to purchase 1,000 computers, you have to worry about where you're going to store them. Same thing for our, you are a creator right now, you create a program. Whenever you name those variables, you need to make sure those variables has a place to store them. Internally, our computer save for you is in the internal memory. Okay. So we have right here we have two type of memory location. One is variable. So the variable you did it like your quiz, double, num1, num2, some difference product. Those are variables. Because those are variables, so you can put the first question, you put 10.5 and anything. But some of them, member, they cannot be changed. We call name constant. Let's come here right now. So this is internal memory. Your RAM look like this. All right. Now, so what happened is once you have the variables, we're going to save into your memory location. Okay, so we can retrieve it. And so because of that, should be short as possible, still being descriptive. Short names are easier to read. All right, so we suggest you do that. But there are rules to name your variables and need to memorize. Number 1, name must begin with a letter. Cannot be and only letter. All right. And contain only. So number must begin with a letter. Cannot start with 1, 2, 3, 4. And contain only letter, numbers, and underscore. Do not use any special character. So punctuation, mark, space, all these are forgotten. Cannot be the keywords like see, out, see, in, man. Those are keywords. Name are case sensitive. If you name a discount, lowercase different from all uppercase discount. All right, so that's name this. Let me ask you a question right now. So rule number one. When you name a variable for C++, the name must begin with a, can anyone answer that for me? A letter. Good. Memorize that for me. Are you allowed to put a space between the name?
No.
No. For Word is okay, but for programming, no. All right. Are you allowed to put dollar sign, percentage sign?
No.
No, 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 no. Okay. Now let's check it here right now. So I want you to see here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, one more time. These are the rule. 1. The name must begin with a letter. 2. Can contain only letters, numbers, underscore. No other thing. Can you please don't be too creative, especially this is a first class right now. All right. So number 3, oh sorry. Number 3, the name cannot be a keyword. Number 4, case sensitive. All right. So the good name here are gross pay, interest, tax rate. We're going to talk about this right now. The not good name. Can you tell me why 2011 sales is not a good name?
It starts with a number.
Yes. How about end balance? Why that's not a good name?
There's a
Space.
space.
Yeah, cool. Oh, how about first star name? Why that's not a good name? Oh, sorry, I made it too fast.
It
Why
has a
has
special character.
yeah? Why int is not a good name?
Can be a keyword.
That's right. Why rate percentage is not a good name?
It has a special character.
There are special character percentage you're not allowed to use it. So stay with your 26 character. That's good enough already. So don't try to be too creative. It's okay. Now we are going to continue right now. We talk about IPO chart. Can anyone tell me I stand for what?
Input.
Input.
Yeah, P stands for what?
Process.
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 O stands for what?
Output.
Output.
Good job. Okay. So now take a look at this question here. Tristan Mobley won a program calculate displayed amount he should tip a waiter at the restaurant. The program should subtract any liquor charge from the total bill and then calculate the tips on the remainder. Okay, so right here, let's take a look the IPO chart right here. So IPO chart first, IPO chart already know we need to have a total bill. All right, so this chapter is remind you. All right, so you want to be your name as short as possible but descriptive. So total bill, that's a good name. T bill is not good name. Okay, liquor is a good name. Tip percent is also a good name. And tip P is not a good name. Total, no liquor, and tip. So these are pretty descriptive. Do you think so? If you read this, you sort of understand what value will be stored in this variable. Yes or no? Yes? If yes, that's a good name. Okay? Now, let's talk about memory location right now. Okay? So the memory location is really decided by your data type. Whatever data type you choose. All right. So right here, look, all these are your data type, primitive data type, sure, int, float, double, bool, and char. In your advanced C++, you will create your own data type, but not right now. Right now, you use the data type provided by Visual Studio. We call them primitive data type. It's okay. All right, so if you decide to use a short, okay, so short is 4 bytes. So this depends on what you're going to ask. All right, what you're going to use. So short and integer are for whole number, no decimal point. All right, so float and double for real number. Now you have decimal points. The difference is double has greater value. Char is for 1 characters. only one character. String is a user-defined data type, so it will be more characters, 0 or more characters. Okay. So now you don't have to memorize this, but you need to know. Short is 2 bytes. Integer is 4 bytes. Float is 4 bytes. Double is 8 bytes. Bool is 1 byte. Char is 1 byte. String is 1 byte per character. So let me ask you right now. For the program you created, like a double num1, double num1. So as soon as you create double num1, you have to use how many bytes to save this variable in the RAM? How many bytes? Okay, so if you have double num1, so if you create something called double num1, all right, if you create something called double num1, that once you create num1, that num1 has, hey, it has to save. Let me write it here, okay? You guys are confused. All right, as soon as I type double num1, the num1 has to go into your memory location. Understand? This is programming. All right, the num1 doesn't stay on your flash drive. Okay, doesn't go any place. Has to be in a memory location in your RAM. So when I type double num1 right now, how many bytes you are request the RAM give you right now?
8 bytes.
Yeah, who answered that? Who's the kid who answered that? Can you please tell me?
Very.
Huh? Okay, great. You're a good kid. 8 bytes. 8 bytes. Lydia too, 8 bytes. James, good? Okay? Good. Thank you. Let me continue. Okay? Now, let me continue right now. All right. So right here, total bill, we decided is the data type is double. Liquor double. Can anyone tell me right here why we decide all these variables to be data type double? And somebody can answer that to me. Why it's
Because
a
it has decimal place after. You're not just going for the whole number around it.
That's right. Did you hear the plus? Good job. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now, all right. So, when they store in internal memory, they don't store like a 10, 100, or 5 because your computer only understand 0 and 1. Okay. So they only understand the 0 and 1. So the thing you type in will based on ASCII code, and change that to 0 and 1. All right, so this is a regular number here, like 110, 110 is look like this. Okay, then so this is right here. So look here, I have 110. If I have 110, computer read that as computer read 110, you read that to 6, because 2 to a 0, that's nothing. 2 to a first is 1, 1 plus, and 2 to the fourth is how many? 4, right? So 4 plus 2, 2 to the first is 2, that's 6. So anyone who has question about how to do this binary number to decimal number? Yes or no? Yeah, that's right. Very good. So how about the number 2 line? Number 2 line right here, you will do 2 to the fourth. What you do is 2 to 2 to the 4th. All right, so what's the answer for that? That'll be 16, right? 2 to the 4th is 16. All right, so I have 2 to the 4th, and then you do 2 to the 3rd, and that will be 8, right? That equal 8. 2 to the 3rd, that equal 8. And then 2 to the 1st, 2 to the 1st, that equal to 2. All right, so 16 plus 8 plus 2, so 16 plus 8 plus 2, that will equal to 26. You understand? So can anyone help me how to do this one? 1001. How do you make 1001 to 9? Can anyone help me right now? So 2 to the 3rd is what? 8. Plus 2 to a 0 is 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. So on the left hand, on the right hand side, that's we do. We enter 放息in, but this is what your internal memory will save. Okay? Now also we're going to learn something called ASCII. So if you type, like for example, you type discount. When you type discount, and D, when you type D, your computer will read this as 011000100, and I will be 011010001. That's very long. So we usually read the ASCII code, then convert to binary. So as a programmer, you have to understand what instruction your computer is receiving now. Understand? All right. So now we also need to select an initial value. All right. So right now, your Visual Studio don't need to do that. It automatically select 0 for you. Okay. So right here we can automatically 0, and if that's a string, automatically has empty string right now. All right, so we talk about initial. If you worry about they alter your value, you probably want to provide initial value. Okay, now, so these are created by Visual Studio already. If you have short and integer data type, already initialized to 0. Float and double already initialized to 0.0. String usually initialized to empty string, double quotation. Bool is initialized to true or false. Okay. Oh, sorry. So here you already know that they already initialized. Alright, so once we declare and memory, once we have the variable already, once you create it, we already have memory location. Now, so the way we're doing is this, that we're going to do the second one. So we do this, whatever data type, and we already have memory location. Second one we are going to learn is called this variable is a const. You cannot change them. We are going to use a keyword called const. When do you need that? So if a variable value wanted to be universal and no one can change, you better be const. Const allows you to have a fixed value. For example, like a pi, something like that. Okay, so several advantages using name const is make program more documenting. Value cannot be changed, and you have no you just want to type the name because you don't want to do that 3.19169, but that would be too easy to make mistake. All right, so let's take a look at memory data type. An integer. So one more time, integer age equals 0. So age has how many bytes? Who can remember? 4 bytes. Yeah, okay. All right, so double has how many bytes? Double has how many bytes? 8 bytes. Yes, okay. Now we already come right here. So we learned something new today is const. Is a const. All right. So now I am going to finish this right now. Finish this. We learned something like here const. Integer or something like that. So for example, we have an example right here. All right, so the pi will be a const. So that will be conclude today's chapter 3, the concept. Okay, that's chapter 3 concept. All right, so I hope you enjoy chapter